Dunklin Asizuus Maasi. Thanks for watching I Estoria-Ta. We introduce you now to another Guam delegate who shares a very close connection to master artist of body ornamentation, Jill Beneventi.
Hafade Guahu si Kerri and Naputi Borja, and I am a delegate for body ornamentation for FestPac 2016.
Kerri went from spending summers here to officially calling Guam home 2 years ago. But that doesn't mean she wasn't always close to her culture. It was several years ago she first met master carver in body ornamentation, Jill Beneventi, or Mama Jill.
I started body ornamentation, I started carving 2009. So I moved home 2 years ago, and prior to that I was living in the Bay Area, went to school, was teaching, and so I used to come back here every summer. And then I got into grad school, and so I came home to do my master's thesis, and during that time was when I started carving. So the year prior, I met Mama Jill, and we were talking, and we totally connected, and she had offered to teach me how to carve. I had found some shells on a trip that I had went to Tinian and to Saipan, and I was telling her about the shells, she was telling me about the jewelry, and then that's when she offered. She was like, oh, you know, if you want to learn how to do something with those shells, I could teach you.
Kerri says in the mornings she would work on her thesis, and at night she would learn how to carve. The first thing she ever made was a piece for her mom made of spondylus she found in Tinian.
I think learning more and more about our culture as Chamorros and who we are, our story, the more I spoke with Mama Jill and other artisans, the more I learned and the more I wanted to create. Like, I've always been a creative type, and this just ended up being more and more fun, like going from shell to bone to wood to all these different types of materials, and being able to see the things that you can create with these materials found all around the island, and then understanding the link to our ancestors and the role that jewelry or our body ornamentation represented for our people.
Kerri moved to Guam from San Francisco 2 years ago. She has a bachelor's in liberal studies. She taught English literature for 8 years in the Bay Area and then went back to school to pursue a master's degree.
It was basically looking at race, gender, and class with the social justice, equity perspective. And I decided to do my research on looking at the effects of colonial educational systems here on Guam, and then using Chamorro language and immersion schools and programs as a way to help counter those effects and to help perpetuate the Chamorro language and culture. And so during that time when I actually came back was when I decided, like, okay, I could live here. You know, prior to that I was always coming here during the summer times, which is different because, you know, people are on vacation, so it's more fun. It's like, hey, what are you doing? You want to go this? You want to go to the beach? Whatever. But during the time when I had come back to do my research, it was from January to May, and it was different. People were on their everyday grind, their hustle, you know, working. It wasn't necessarily as free for people to just go out and kick it or hang out or whatever. So during that time was when I got to kind of see a little bit more of the reality of how it is to live back home. Prior to that, my dad was in the military, so I traveled everywhere, all around. But yeah, during that time was when I was like, okay, I could do it. I could live here.
In 2014, she officially moved to Guam, is a teacher at Estumbo Middle School, and also helps at Second Katuran Chamorro.
It is my first festival of the Pacific Arts, and I'm super excited. I've heard a lot of stories, especially from like Mama Jill and some of the other artisans I've met throughout the years, and hearing stories about the festival and how it is from like Belau to Samoa to the Solomon Islands. I've always thought of it as, you know, it's a way to kind of make those connections again with our brothers and sisters throughout the Pacific, you know, because there is such a wide space between us, and it's not that easy to always travel to all the other islands. But thinking back in terms of, you know, how we were in ancient times and how looking at the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, which is like the largest body of water on Earth, and how our ancestors and all Pacific Islander peoples traveled, right? Like, we didn't have the roads that we have here on the island, or back in the US or anywhere else, you know, our roads were the ocean and we navigated it through canoes. And so it's cool because I think about all the sharing that had happened back then that still continues today, and I look forward to the Festival of the Pacific to be able to remake those reconnections with our brothers and sisters and to share and to talk story and to laugh and, you know, all of the things that make us connected and remind us that we are connected to each other.
Stay tuned. When I Estoria-Ta continues, we'll introduce you to a member of Guam's diaspora delegation.